Hey everyone. So this video is going to be covering the welding tool list, which you will need most of these, if not all of these, welding supplies for taking these welding classes. So I'm going to go through, I have the list right here, and it will also be listed on D2L along with this video to actually show you what these tools are. So the first thing on the list is safety glasses. So safety glasses of some sort, hopefully y'all can see that. Make sure you're wearing your safety glasses out in the shop at all times. So as soon as you walk out into the shop, make sure you have your safety glasses on, because there are other people grinding out there and you don't want a spark or dirt to go in your eye. In your welding booth, you need to have your safety glasses on. Plus, if you're grinding, make sure you have your safety glasses on and the clear face shield, okay? So make sure you are protecting your eyes at all times. Next on the list is welding helmets. So I'm going to show you a couple different options of welding helmets, but my recommendation would be getting an auto darkening helmet. So auto darkening helmets, different prices. So you can get an auto darkening helmet for, let's say, 50-60 bucks. And then there are also auto darkening helmets for $500 plus. So it's all on what you want to spend. I'm not saying that one is necessarily better than the other, but you also get what you pay for, if that makes any sense. So recommendation, get an auto darkening helmet, because you can have your hood down and still see through the lens. And as soon as you strike your arc, it will darken within 1/2000th of a second. So you'll still be able to see where you're at with the hood down. And then as soon as you strike off, it will actually darken your helmet. Other helmets are non-auto darkening helmets. So it'll actually have a flip up like this, or some of them don't even have the flip up and it's just dark. So if I were to look through the helmet, you wouldn't be able to see anything in front of you. So this is where you have to get used to, like if you have it up on your head, you get close and then you have to flip your hood down using your neck. So it's a little bit more difficult lining up for people that have never welded before. So that's why I recommend getting an auto darkening helmet, but it's whatever your preference is on what you want to get. So moving along, next thing on the list would be leather boots. So make sure you have boots of some sort. Don't come in here in any Crocs or flip-flops or tennis shoes. Make sure you have on boots of some sort. They do not necessarily have to be steel toe or composite toe, but I will say 9 times out of 10 out in the field, you will have to wear those type of boots, steel toe or composite toe shoes. So it might be beneficial to go ahead and start getting used to that, but it's not a requirement for the classes that you will be taking. Next thing on the list would be welding gloves. So TIG, MIG, and stick welding gloves. So right here, the thicker gloves, primarily use them for stick welding, okay? So they are thicker. It's going to protect your hands from the sparks and the heat. And then I also have TIG welding gloves. So they are thinner type of gloves. So you will use those for TIG welding. Next thing on the list would be welding jacket or welding sleeves. So a lot of this is going to be y'all's preference on what you want to get. Welding sleeves, so they'll come like this. So all you do, just putting them over your arm, okay? So sleeves, or you can go with a welding jacket of some sort. So a jacket, and then they also have welding just long sleeve shirts. So if you don't want like a button up or anything, it's just a welding long sleeve shirt. Make sure whatever you're wearing that it is 100% cotton. That way you do not catch on fire. So welding jacket, welding sleeves, pliers, and welpers. So for the MIG welding course, these are called welpers. So it is where you can take, your tip off, you can take the consumables apart, and then there is a cutter right here that you can actually clip your wire with. So these will be beneficial for that MIG welding class. And then also pliers are listed. So whenever you're picking up hot metal, some sort of pliers or clamps of some sort. Something along the lines of this for pliers or clamps to pick up the hot metal, to dunk it in the water, to cool it off. Next on the list, wire brush. So I recommend getting 2 wire brushes. One for mild steel and one for stainless. So I'm going to say stainless and aluminum. So whenever you are cleaning off your base material, wire brushes, and then whenever you are in that stick welding class, you'll use the wire brush after you chip off the flux to clean it up. So 2 types of wire brushes, one for mild steel and then one that is labeled stainless on there. Next would be a chip and hammer. So chip and hammer, whenever you're in the stick welding classes, you will need the chip and hammer to chip off the flux. So some other suggested items that are on the list. So a grinder of some sort. We do have the attachments for your grinder. So we do have the flap disc and we have the hard rocks, the stones for grinding. If you want a wire wheel, which is what's on this grinder right now, you will have to purchase that. It's a little bit easier whenever you're cleaning up flux, whenever you are stick welding. So I recommend getting a wire wheel. Extension cord also with that. So make sure you're getting a grinder and extension cord. Another thing, head protection of some sort. That way you wear this up underneath your hood. That way no sparks or anything touch your hair and let that catch on fire. Tape measure. So we have some tape measures around the shop, but I would recommend getting your own tape measure. This will be more beneficial for whenever you get into the more advanced classes. Not necessarily the beginner classes, but whenever you get into like the advanced fabrication class, you will need a tape measure. So that is going over what you will need for welding classes here at York Tech. With that being said, you're probably thinking, oh, well, that's a lot of stuff. That's going to be a lot of money. So there are some companies that we actually partnered with that provide a student bundle discount to where you get everything that I have shown you and it will be at a discounted price. So you will just have to go to these 2 places, which one is Roberts Oxygen and the other one is Airgas, and they both are located in Rock Hill. So if you go there, just show them your York Tech student ID, tell them you're a student, and then they will get you the package. If you do not want to go to either of those places, of course, there are other places that have welding supplies. Places like Tractor Supply, Northern Tools, Lowe's has some, Home Depot, Walmart has stuff as well. Or you can order it, if you want to order your stuff offline, that is perfectly fine as well. And then we'll go a little bit more in depth into the required tools. But this is all the requirements for welding classes. And then whenever we actually meet in person, I will write those on the board just so you know, and then I'll tell you how to get to their location if you don't know how to find it. And of course, whenever we're in class or in person and you have any questions, just reach out and ask me. I'll answer any of those questions. But I hope this helped a little bit by showing y'all what is required for welding classes. And as always, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. Thanks everybody. Have a great day.